The following is a Just Green production brought to you by the Might Be News Network.
Hello, listeners. This is Joe Frantz here with Brandon Novak for the Novak and Frantz show / podcast. I'm here today with Brandon Novak. Say hello, for God's sake. Show some gratitude.
Hey, everybody. How are you? Just for the note, I'm gunning to change the name of the show. It hasn't happened yet. I'm still pushing for it. Let me know what you guys think. From either A, the Novak and Frantz show, or B, Cellar Dwellers. Just putting it out there, putting the vibes out. Let's see what you guys think.
Cellar Dwellers.
All right. Because we do the show in Franz's mom's basement in the cellar. I think it's fitting. Mm-hmm. Anyways, just quick side note.
That's true. And of course, we're here with Taylor Cooper, the producer and engineer of the show.
What's up, everybody?
And CJ Schumard, who is in charge of Brandon Novak Global Worldwide Holdings. He's the CEO and VP and VIP. Very immense penis.
I'd fuck you.
Based on that title?
That title, you're getting laid.
So, Brandon, we talk a couple times a week. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, I want to know what a lot of people want to know.
Yeah.
How did you save that woman's life? Because we never talk about that. We talk about everything else. You saved someone's life a couple months back.
Oh, on the train?
Yeah.
Yeah. So me and my mother had went to D.C. for the day to see my nephew, something at his school. And my brother, his wife were there. The kids were there. And me and my mother, we had taken the train from Baltimore to D.C. Finishing that day, we got a train back from D.C. to Baltimore. It was around 9. It was probably around 10 o'clock at night. So the train was pretty desolate. It was empty. Mm-hmm. And I'm really, since I've gotten sober, and the longer I stay sober, I'm very hypersensitive to my surroundings. I'm really alert and attentive, almost too much. And my OCD continues to get heavier and heavier. So it's almost to fault. But this night, it was actually a blessing. I'm sitting in the train. It's the 2-level trains, people on top and people on the bottom. And my mother is on the outside. I'm sitting on the inside looking out the window. Uh-huh. And there's no one else on our car except for this older black woman. She's about 5 seats up on the opposite side. And I'm looking out and I'm paying attention to the woman. I'm looking all around. And all of a sudden I see her. And she starts grabbing her neck. And I don't know what's going on. She's grabbing her neck. And then she starts flailing about.
Oh my God.
She's flailing her head. And I can tell that she's in a state of disarray. Panic has consumed her. She's grabbing her neck. She's grasping for air. She's trying to breathe. You can see that she can't. So all of a sudden, my mother's on the outside. I literally push her out of the way. And I stand up and I start screaming for help. And no one's coming because no one's on the train, at least on the top part. I run to the stairs to get to the bottom, and there's some people at the bottom of the stairs. And I said, who knows CPR? This woman is choking to death. And they're all looking at me, not knowing what to do, but just basically shaking their head no. No one knows CPR. This woman's like dying. So I'm like, fuck it, man. It can't be that hard. I have to do something. And it kind of comes back to my what I do every day for being a recovery advocate. I'm a big fan of doing something. There's no margin for error, yet it is impossible to do perfect. I kind of look at life that way. So when I see this woman literally choking to death, I can see she doesn't know what's going on. So I run over and I grab her and I rip her out of her seat and I put her back to my chest and I just literally grab her and put my arms around her, wrap my arms around her body, and just start pulling in. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3.
Just like you've seen on television.
Yeah, exactly. Just mimicking and mirroring what I've seen in movies. Mm-hmm. That I've never had any training. I never had any research. Never learned it. But I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do, but I knew something had to be done, and no one else was doing anything. So I did it, and then it worked, and she started breathing. And then she called her daughter and put me on the phone with her daughter and said, this guy just saved my life.
What was the first thing she said when she kind of came to? How long did it take her to kind of regain composure?
Once whatever was in her throat was dislodged, I'd say 4 to 5 minutes where she could put a cognitive sentence together that made sense.
Wow.
You know?
And what's the first thing she said?
She said, I can't thank you enough. She said, I didn't want to come on this trip, and I almost didn't come on this trip, and my daughter made me come on this trip. And her daughter had a big part of whatever this trip that she was on was about. And she didn't want to go on the trip. And that's what she kept saying as soon as she came to. She kept saying, I didn't want to come on this trip. I almost didn't go on this trip. My daughter made me go on this trip. So after this happened, and I'm not really thinking much because I'm in like a state of panic still. Then she calls her daughter up immediately and tells her daughter what happened, put me on the phone with the daughter. Mm-hmm. You know, and my mother, she didn't know what was going on.
Well, and you and your mom were the only other people on this car.
Yeah, on the top part. On the bottom there were people, but it was like a 10:30 at night from DC back to Baltimore train.
It's almost as if like
Sunday
God
night.
put you. It almost seems like God put you on that car with her for a reason. You know?
Well, I'm a big. That's one of my favorite parts of sobriety for me, right, is recognizing the synchronicity in life's events that bring us to the here and now, which further affirms to me that there is absolutely a higher power. I don't believe in luck and coincidence. I believe everything is destiny and fate. There's, 8 billion people in the world, maybe? I don't know. I'm just totally guessing, but someone told me, I think 8 billion.
Yeah, there's almost 8 billion.
8 billion people in the world. I live in Philadelphia. I caught in that train from DC to Baltimore maybe 3 times my whole life. Like, why that night did I go to DC with my mother? If I would have caught the next train, I wouldn't have. You know what I mean? But there's a power greater than myself saw fit for our stars to align and our paths to cross, and us end up on the same train at the same time on the same night.
What does it feel like to be a hero?
I don't look at it as a hero. I look at, me kind of paying my dues back to life. Because if justice was served, I'd be dead years and years and years ago if I got what I deserved. So I really look at it as just paying off a debt to society. Mm-hmm. So I don't think I have enough years in my life to ever break even on what I owe.
So you don't go around bragging to all the girls that you're a hero.
No, I don't talk.
Guess what, babe? I'm a hero.
Now, if you would have called me when I was getting loaded, absolutely.
Oh, God. I never would have heard the end of it.
Yeah, you know that.
Oh, man.
You know that. But the cool thing is my mother then called my brother. My brother told his wife, and now in her family, and they're calling me saying, God, like, what, do you wear a cape at night?
Yeah, it's such a cool thing, man. Congratulations. It must be, I can't imagine how that would make you feel. I've never, because like in restaurants, you don't hear about it much. It's extremely common that that people choke to death in a restaurant. Like, dude, you're actually at a big risk when you're eating and you're not paying attention.
Sure, I believe that.
When I was a kid, I almost choked to death on a marble and there was no one around.
Yeah.
I remember I was 4 years old. I had a marble in my mouth and it went down my windpipe. And I remember thinking at that young age, I was like, okay, I could try and swallow this, or I could like buck my entire upper body forward and see if it comes out. And I remember even at that young age, I was thinking my time is limited. If I make the wrong decision, I'm going to die.
And that's you at 4.
Yeah. And I remember it like it fucking happened 5 minutes ago. And so I forced my entire upper body forward as hard as I can. The marble came out, and I lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, and at 4 years old, you didn't see that happening.
Yeah.
You didn't foresee that in your future.
Such a scary thing.
And then as you can attest to, I've never dealt with that, but panic ensues. Mm-hmm. You're by yourself. You don't know what to do. You can't scream for help. You can't call for help.
And you know what flashed through my head was my mother finding me dead on the floor. Like I could picture myself, even though I didn't know you were blue in the face, like I could picture, like that went through that image of me dead with a blue face on the floor, my mother finding me went through my fucking head.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. Well, hey, looks like we have a caller here. Let's go to the phones.
All right.
Enough of this morbidity. Hello, caller.
By the way, we're basically have like the Jow house
We have such a
setup
ghetto
going
setup.
on here.
Caller? I think our
And
caller gave
CJ
up.
does not let us down again. Everyone, give it up for
They've been
CJ.
waiting for like 5 minutes.
He
to
always
go.
drops the first call.
Yeah, they have been waiting for a while, so I guess they went to get a glass of water. Is it on mute? All right, well, fair enough.
No.
We'll just go to the next call.
All right, we're going to go to the next call here
CJ,
On
don't
the-
fuck this
Oh,
up.
on the Novak and Frantz show.
AKA the cellar dwellers.
Hello.
I'm just killing time. Yes, that's
Hey,
right.
what's up, guys?
Oh,
How are you, brother?
hello, caller.
Hey, what up? How are you guys doing today?
We're doing wonderful. What is your topic?
Awesome. I wanted to ask you guys, what's your most craziest story or moment that you've had with Jimmy Pop or Mark the Bagger?
Well, there was a night when we were partying with the Bloodhound Gang, and I believe it was at a place called The Trap. And Novak wanted to convince the waitress to do a body shot off of his belly, and apparently she had too much to drink because.
That's right. I vaguely remember this.
Yo,
yeah.
I remember like it was yesterday. She did the shot off of his belly, and she proceeded to regurgitate
Yeah.
all over him from neck to gut.
I totally remember that. Yeah.
And it was a night and it was man, as awful as it must have felt to be covered in someone else's vomit, the spectacle was remembered by everyone there. It's like one of those
Except me.
legendary moments, except for you.
Well, when he asked that question, we proposed that question. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Everything has been a blur for so many years that that is one of them, you know? But like, fuck, well, Fran's answer for both of us. Thank you.
And I did a music video for the Bloodhound Gang years ago. It was called "Screwing You on the Beach at Night," and it was a parody on what was that?
It was a period of Wicked Games.
Yes, Wicked Game. That's right,
Yeah.
by Chris Isaac.
sure,
God,
for sure.
I directed
Yeah,
it, and I don't even
video's
remember
awesome.
what the hell I did. So one of the things is there's supposed to be a girl who's topless on the beach, but the girl so Evil Jared hooked us up with one of these girls he was hanging out with at the time, and so she had to wear pasties over her nip piles, and so there's no one on the whole goddamn beach, and someone must have been watching us with binoculars because someone kept calling the cops. And so the cop kept coming. And so as soon as the cops would come, she would cover up and he would say, look, you can't be naked on the beach. You can film here. You have a permit. We're like, well, she's not naked. It looks like she's naked from afar, but she's not naked. So finally, the third time he came back, he's like, look, I hate this. I'm going to have to lock somebody up. And we said, well, you can see for yourself. And so she peels down her bikini and shows that she has pasties covering her nipples up.
Fucking tits, Franz. Jesus.
I know. I feel like I'm talking to my mom. And so the cop has this lump in his throat, this big frog in his throat, and he's like, ooh. And he goes, okay. And he gets red in the face, turned around and went, and we just started laughing at him. The other funny part about shooting that video was we needed a palm tree. And so we bought a palm tree for like $800 and planted it. And everyone on the beach kept coming to the one fucking place on the palm tree. So everyone sees, oh, there's a palm tree. And everyone wanted to sit under the fucking palm tree. And we had to keep telling people, look, we planted this palm tree so we could shoot a music video. But we want to shoot under the palm tree.
I can see that.
Yeah, that's crazy. The other thing that's crazy too is there's a video from Shronzy that's on YouTube that's got you two in it, and you guys are at the fair, and where you poured the drink over Joe's eyes. That's crazy.
Wait, who did what?
It's a video of you guys. Apparently, Franz was trying to get a hold of you, Novak, like on the phone, and you weren't answering. And then he's seen you at the state fair or whatever, and you're there with the girl, and then he like poured nachos over your head or something.
Yeah, I vaguely remember
Oh, wasn't that Where the F is Santa? Wasn't that a movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Right on, man.
All
Well,
right.
hey, thanks for calling in, brother.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right,
Much
brother.
love, you guys.
God bless.
Much love.
Bye.
Peace.
Thank you, caller. All right, we have another caller here. on the Novak and Frantz show. Hello, caller.
Cellar dwellers. There we go, CJ. Fucking 2 and 1.
We even got a great sound effect for that one.
Wait, what's going on with
They
these
hung
callers?
up. They
Well,
hung up
you
on us.
fucking dropped
These
it.
are the most
I
impatient
didn't drop
people.
it. It was in the thing going.
It's caller's choice. They just choose not to fucking
Yeah, it was a
talk
caller's
to us.
choice not to talk to anybody.
Smart move. Smart move. So I'll tell you what, though.
What?
I am 32 days without a cigarette today. 32 days.
What is
Wow.
the most difficult moment in the last week?
Here we go.
You know,
Let's try-
Wait,
It's-
another call. We'll get back to this sort of discussion after this call. Call. Hello, caller.
Yo.
Hey, man. So, what is your story or your question or your whatever?
First of all, oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Thank you.
Dude, I have a story and I'm not involved in it and I wasn't there to experience it, but dude, my cousin told me this story and it's off the walls.
It probably happened to you, but go ahead.
No, I wish. Okay, so they went to Penhurst. I'm from Maryland, and my buddies went to Penhurst Asylum. My cousin and all his buddies went there, like the big like horror fest thing or whatever, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I guess they got to the front of the line, and my buddy didn't have his ticket or whatever. He thought he didn't have his, or I called him my buddy just for whatever. My cousin's buddy didn't have his ticket for like he whatever, he couldn't get in. And then they were like, oh yeah, you gotta go to the back of the line. And he was so drunk at that time that he was like, fuck it, dude, like I'm not even going back, like whatever. So he goes and tries to find the car, like the car that they got there in, and he couldn't find it because the parking lot's huge and he couldn't find anywhere to go. So he finds this pickup truck and he lays underneath it. Lays underneath, like, yeah. Listen, oh no, there's no death in this story. No one dies. It's okay. So anyway, he lays down underneath the pickup truck, falls asleep for about 40 minutes or so, 45 minutes. He's like, this probably isn't the best idea because when they leave here, I'm going to get run over. So his bright idea.
I wonder
is to
how
climb
long
into
did it take him to come to that conclusion?
Dude,
Jesus.
Joe Frantz, it could have been an hour, it could have been 10 minutes. I don't know, man.
Yeah,
It could have been anything. But
Okay.
anyway, this guy, he eventually wakes up and he says, and he's like, wow, this probably isn't the best place for me to be. So in his bright idea, in his smart mind, he climbs into the bed of the pickup truck. He gets into the back of it. Then, oh man, I can't even tell a story. I can't even tell the story without laughing.
Okay.
He wakes up going 70 miles an hour down the highway. It's some fucking random person's car. Keep in mind, he's from Maryland. Like, he doesn't know where the fuck he's going. He doesn't know what direction is north or west. He doesn't know what's happening.
This guy has the best laugh I've ever heard.
He wakes up going 70 miles an hour down the highway.
And where did you end up? Where did you end up?
It's not me, dude. It's my cousin's friend, dude.
So what do you
Anyway, apparently he ended up in a just a normal driveway, and he waited till he heard the dude's car door to shut and then the front door to shut. So he's like, all right, I'm good to go. And then he said that he jumped in, he jumped out of the car and goes into the road and trying to wave down traffic. And he said he eventually waved down some lady that was stopped because she was obviously concerned. What the fuck is this dude? Why is this dude waving me down? And she's like, are you okay?
the best
And he goes, I'm from Maryland. I don't know where I am. And keep in mind, we're probably in literally middle Pennsylvania at this point.
Notice how he said we. Notice how he said we are.
Oh my God! All right, Joe Frantz. Yeah, you got me. Yeah, I was just randomly there tagging along, but no. Okay, so the dude, His name's Cody, actually. The guy I'm talking about, his name is Cody.
Yeah, his
Cody
name-
Eshelman. Literally, Google him. It's real.
Cody.
Go ahead, Colin.
And I'm, God damn it, Novak. Anyway, the dude, he's like, oh my God, I'm from Maryland. Like, I need to get home. I don't know where the fuck I am. Clearly, she drives away because she thinks he's a psycho. Then,
Where is he?
dude, from what I heard, he was in like some place in Pennsylvania that he just didn't know. Like Central PA is my guess. Anyway, he takes a $380 Uber home, not to mention the $40 tip because he's a nice guy. And anyway, that pretty much culminates my story. Boys, had at it.
Thank you so much. Radio Bam. He's Radio Bam.
Hey, thanks for calling in.
Thanks
man.
for calling in.
Take care, brother.
Thanks for having me.
All right, brother. That dude's enjoyment of telling the story
Yeah, he
was
was
way
a-
better than the fucking story.
Yeah, true story. He was a happy fella, man. I spent a lot of money to feel like he feels on a regular basis.
I know.
And it never worked.
I know. All the weed,
It would last for like 2, 3, 4 hours at best.
all the weed I used to
Hello?
smoke as a kid, I never felt that good.
I know.
Go ahead, caller. Hello.
Yo, what's up?
Good, good. What,
Fucking Novak.
What's happening?
What's happening, man? I had to call in like 60 times to get in, but it was worth it, man. I'm a long time
61's
fan
the
of
lucky
y'all.
fucking number.
Sir.
so
What do we got?
Shit. Well, I was just going to say once again, I'm a huge fan, man. Shout out to the CKY, fucking Jackass, all the good shit, you know.
Thank you, brother.
thank you.
And congrats to all your success of sobriety, man. That's a
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. So what's on your mind? What do you want to talk about?
where can I start? Shit, I was gonna ask a personal question of y'all. What's it like to chill at fucking the castle, bro? The fucking Bam Castle back in the day. I don't know if it's still like that. Like, how was that shit?
Well,
Is
it
it-
depends on when you ask me. If you asked me when I was getting loaded, it was the fucking best thing ever. If you ask me now, sober, I'd say it's the worst thing ever. You know, it's where I'm in two different places in my life. At that time, it was the best. You know, there was no cares, no concerns, no worries,
No rules.
no rules. You think you do, no repercussions. You know, it's
Yeah.
fucking in a Disneyland for adults.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it was like a big playground for adults. You know, for people in their 20s and 30s. You know, there was at nighttime. There was generally a lot going on. People would come back from we'd meet people at the bar. They'd come back with us. You know, there'd be girls in the pool. There'd be, you know, the neighbors hated us because
Oh, I believe it.
the dutiful husbands would come over late at night just to see if there's anything that we needed.
Yeah.
But just to check out the naked girls in the pool.
Or just running around the house, or riding the four-wheelers, or doing whatever.
Yeah, so all the local housewives would just call the cops on us constantly to get us shut down.
The husbands would be over drinking, doing blow, shooting pool, riding four-wheelers. You name
In
it,
one
it
of the
was going
multiple
on.
hot tubs.
Yeah.
But the mornings were depressing, and sometimes you would get a ride over there, and then they would leave, and you couldn't escape. Either that, or like sometimes Bam would like pick me up in Philly and say, "Yeah, I'm coming back to Philly tomorrow. I'll drop you off." And then he'd be like, "Yeah, I decided not to go to Philly," and I'd be trapped there for like 3 days. And dude,
Oh my god.
and sometimes it would get so depressing there during the day because there's nothing to do. It's just Bam walking around moping, you know, eating soggy ass cereal in his bathrobe. There's never anything on TV, and
But the TVs never really work. There's no
Yeah.
remote control for it. There's
Yeah.
batteries missing. Like,
Yeah.
nothing works.
Whatever was on, and you had to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you know sometimes people would stop by, and like 9 out of 10 times it's like some weird friend of a friend who like you don't really want to talk to, and then Bam would just go to his room and leave the person there because he didn't want to deal with him, and then you'd be stuck talking to someone you have nothing in common with. And you know, some social parasite who's trying to cling on to Bam's fame in any way he can, and you're stuck talking with
You
this
just want to
2-bit
go
loser.
home.
Yeah. No, like
Yeah, that brought up
go ahead, caller.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say that brought up another question. Did it ever become a point in which a lot of fans would either just show up there in general, or like it became out of hand at any point, or like, is there any story you'd like to share about that?
All the time.
Novak, tell
all
the
the time,
story.
yeah.
Wait. So there was this one great Novak story. Remember, Novak, you were trapped there for days, and remember the bicycle in the rain? Tell that story. I love that story. Here's the other side of the glamorous Castle Bam stories that you always hear. Go ahead, Novak.
Well, I was stuck there for days, and I was withdrawing, and I had no heroin, and I desperately needed a fix. And I had to get into town. Bam was kind of on to my ways at this point, so he started hiding all the keys to all the cars, and basically made my escape impossible. I could not get out. So finally, he's sleeping. Everyone's sleeping finally after days of partying, and it's like 5:30 in the morning. And I'm like, fuck yeah, here it is. This is my out. And I go outside, and there's no cars are open, no keys are in any of the cars, but what there are is like 5 pedal bikes. So I'm like, here it is, the bike. I'll just get the bike. So I get the bike.
And this was the same bike, by the way, that we used in the CKY videos to do the stunts, like when Ryan Dunn did the clothesline into the soccer net. So this particular
that's
bike
gnarly.
was like a little child's, like meant for like a 6-year-old, a pink bicycle with flat tires, just totally flat.
So I'm like, all right, I'll ride the bike into town. I get on the bike. I get up to where you have to, you get to like a sensor line, and then the gate opens. The fucking bike will not produce enough weight on the sensor to let it say it needs to open. So now the fucking gate will not open. The gates are like 12 feet high, including the fence.
Right.
It's 5:30 a.m. It's pouring torrential downpours. But this is my only time to escape. I'm sick. I have my dealer meeting me in town. So I'm like, fuck it. I just wing that bike over the fence. I climb the fence. I have an open bottle of wine in my hand because that's all I have. Now I'm on the ride, the trek, on this little girl's bike with 2 flat tires, torrential downpour, and I have an open bottle of wine in my hand that I chugged the whole way.
To town.
To town.
It is so far.
Yeah.
Dude, that is so far. How far is that, CJ?
Probably like 5 miles.
Commitment, man. That's commitment.
But wouldn't it be faster just to abandon the bike? Because you're probably putting more work into pedaling a flat tire bike.
CJ, let's take a look at my rationale at that point in time, for fuck's sake. I'm throwing a girl's bike over a fence at 5 a.m., pouring downpour, open bottle of wine, 2 flat tires, withdrawing from heroin. Do you think I had a fucking sane thought in my head?
Whatever happened to that bike? Because I remember that bike around the same time we got that furniture for the front porch.
I found behind the dumpster.
Yeah, I wonder what became of that bike. Somewhere in the world, it's like at a thrift store somewhere for $3.
There's a lot of
It's
shit.
probably still sitting in the apartment building since the furniture is still sitting on the front porch of where he used to live. And we got the furniture like 2 days after the bike story.
I slept on that furniture many a nights when Apple locked those doors. I did. Dude, if those, it's weird. Going back to Bam's house now, which is far and few in between, but when I do, it's weird. It's, I get flooded with memories, good, bad, and indifferent, but it's just like, I don't know.
Remember the night that, so here's another thing, caller. When you fell asleep at Bam's house, you had to be very careful because you could be the victim of any number of pranks.
And Bam never slept.
Oh God, yeah. He would just get
sober
up.
or on drugs. He just does not sleep.
Right. And he's always trying to instigate other people into fucking with you. If he thinks you're going to kick his ass, he'll just get someone else to do it. So one night I went to sleep behind this couch, and I was like, I'll be safe here. No one will look. And I wake up with Novak spooning my back. We woke up, like, apparently he was afraid too. And he thought of the bright idea of, you don't remember this?
Not at all.
So you thought of the bright idea of like, okay, like, where can I sleep where I'm not going to get fucked with? And then you saw me behind the couch and you're like, I'm safe with Frantz. And then I guess you forgot it was me because there's no pillows. Neither one of us had any pillows or blankets. So I just woke up with you spooning my back, like hugging me. And it was weird. In a way, I kind of felt like good that you felt safe around me. It was weird. I was like, well, I guess this proves we're friends. Out of all the shit that he's put me through,
I could see you feeling that way. I really could. That makes sense to me.
Okay. Any other questions, caller?
We're losing you.
Question for you all. Off camera, of course, because I mean, a lot of the times on Viva La Bam, at least, like there would be a lot of showing of April kind of kirking out because of all the shit that was going down. Was there any like serious moments off camera where she like up and had everyone out of there, or just completely lost her shit because of stuff going on?
Well, she was usually mad at Novak. I remember one time. Okay, so Sean Penn and Johnny Knoxville came to do an episode of Viva La Bam, and you remember, so Bam's aunt, Boof, who's in the movie Ming Hags, she plays Novak's character's girlfriend. So if you can picture her, right? So she cooked trays and trays of meatballs and pasta and all this handmade, like, what do you call it, stuffed shells and like garlic bread. She slaved for days. And so we had this like kind of like little feast, but there was plenty of leftovers. The leftovers, were to be eaten by Bam for like a week. And Novak had one responsibility. When everyone was done eating, he promised to put it all in the refrigerator.
Is this a true story?
Yeah.
Again, I have no recollection of this.
Dude, you wasted. You didn't do it. And when they came back, it was because for some reason Bam had to leave the house for like 3 days and then come back, and then he was supposed to have all this food. And it just was covered in mold and ants and roaches and mice.
Really?
And April's like, Brandon, I can't believe you did this. You know how long we worked on this? She was almost in tears. And fucking Novak's like, oh, Ape, that is so fucking like you to get mad. You're trying to turn this all around on me. That is so like you, Ape. And she's literally in tears that the fruits of her labor were just so unappreciated by Novak. And you were at the house anyway. It's not like you left. You just walked by that food time after time. Every time you walked in the house, you had to walk by there, and you couldn't be bothered. God damn you, Novak.
Jesus Christ.
Unappreciative shit.
See, I have no recollection at all. That's why I literally, through the 12 steps of the program that I work, the 9th step is making amends. I've kind of just figured out that I make amends to anyone that I meet, anyone that I've ever known throughout my life, whether it applies or not, because I have no recollection. Literally, I've been checked. I have no recollection. If you ask, I wouldn't even pass a lie detector. I don't remember that story one bit. I don't remember waking up behind the fucking couch with you. I vaguely remember the broad throwing up on me, vaguely at best. Never would have remembered if you didn't bring it up. And that's just these 3 stories that you've told so far.
Do you remember the time when you did have a lie detector on you? When we did,
I do remember that.
So we did an episode of Viva La Bam where there was a lie detector, and so
had to do with my warrants.
Yeah. So it's like, Ryan Dunn had
because that was the first show where I had came back and it was my claim to fame. Remember?
Yeah.
That's why I remember it. I remember that shit because it benefits me. I have selective memory when it plays in favor of me and my well-being.
So I have the opportunity of a lifetime. And I'm like, Bam, come on, let me ask him a fucking couple questions while he's hooked up. I was like, what do you want to ask him? I was like, I'm going to ask him because I knew.
Franz doesn't forget shit.
Yeah, when we made Haggard, I mean, you got to understand, when we made the movie Haggard and Novak was living with Bam, he stole Jess's entire CD collection. Jess would come home from a CKY tour and be like, where's half my CDs? And Novak would be like, yeah, someone came over, said they wanted to borrow some of them. I think he was a friend of yours. I don't know. In the meantime, if you went to the local CD store in Westchester, she would say like, yeah, Brandon was just in here selling a couple CDs the other day. So and so he would rob the medicine cabinet. I mean, there wasn't one. Remember, April went to get some of her prescription
I switched them out with aspirin.
You
caught me at a tough time, man. I was between a rock and a hard spot.
And it's like, Brandon, who else would have done it? I don't know. I don't know how aspirin. I know, Ape. Maybe you had a headache the same time that you were taking this, and somehow you dumped the aspirin into your prescription meds.
That this goes to prove how sad the disease of addiction is, because I explicitly remember that night that I was in the bathroom. It was nighttime. I remember it like I'm touching this table, and I saw the pill bottle, and I knew that they were on to me. I knew they had counted the pills. I knew they were just waiting to catch me fuck up, and they were going to look in this pill. It was like a test. I knew it, right? But then my disease, my addiction would not allow me to not take it. I knew if I took it, I was going to be caught. And I knew if I took it, I was going to be caught and I was going to be thrown out back to Baltimore. I did not want either of those, but I could not do it. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take 4 and I'm going to replace them with, and I dug through the medicine cabinets and I just found, I couldn't find any pills that slightly resembled. So I'm like, fuck it. I'll just put 4 other pills in that looked nothing like it, knowing that I was going to get caught. But my disease, the one that makes me believe the unbelievable, says, don't worry, you're going to get away with it. Knowing that I wasn't, but I believed that I would because my disease is so powerful. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you also
I
took,
totally remember that.
and you took each one of us aside and be like, yo,
Yeah.
have you noticed that like Jen Revelle is like acting weird, man? Maybe I'm not saying she's the one who took him or nothing like that, but you know, you never know. I mean, she has been acting weird. It's like, yeah, we all act weird. Like Jen definitely acts weird. I act weird. You could say that anyone took them, but you did, and everyone knows it.
Just reciting these stories is so mentally draining to me. I mean, it's because everything was a chess game.
So when we had him hooked up to the lie detector, I was begging Bam. I was like, just let me ask him one question.
And I want to get out of that test so fucking quick because I know you're not the only person begging to ask me questions. There's a long list of people that want to find the truth out about shit right now.
Oh man. Yeah, so
I was like sweating like a whore in church. And like, all right, get the questions. Let's go. Let's shoot. And action. Cut. Gotta smoke. Bam, let's go smoke. Bam, you want to go do a shot? Just get his attention off of that. Because I knew there was, Ape was there, Phil was there, fucking Dumb was there, Rab was there, Franz was there. Everyone that had a problem with me or that I had stolen from and never admitted to was in that room, and they were fucking gunning for me. And nobody wanted me there at that point in time except Bam. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, that was right about the time when we started Dream Seller, and it's weird because as a side project, I'm thinking about making a book about our experiences on Viva La Bam, and so I was interviewing one of the guys, and he said that actually before you asked me, you asked him to help you write the book Dream Seller.
I did. Who was it?
That was Roy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were like,
No, I asked Roy, the one who accused me of stealing his wallet.
no, that was somebody else.
That was the EMT guy.
Yeah.
Wait, Roy did what?
Roy was like a good buddy of Ryan Dunn. He made that last movie Ryan Dunn was in, Living Will.
I remember. I didn't think it was Roy, but I remember asking somebody prior.
Remember when
You.
after we came out with Dream Seller and you started getting mad at me for whatever reason you used to get mad at me for, and then who was it? Cleveland. Remember Cleveland? Cleveland was supposed to help you write the Dream Seller sequel.
What?
Yes,
Yeah, I remember this.
Yes.
Says who? Me?
Said you.
That was my idea?
You called me up one time. You're like, guess what, Frantz? I don't need you no more. I got Cleveland. He's going to write my book
Dude,
for me. I'm like,
Equate that to heroin.
Well, and Cleveland wasn't even confident. You're like, no, you can do it. Franz can do it. You can do it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You know what that's like? It's like if you find a picture of yourself 10 years ago and you're like, oh, what was I thinking to wear that at the time? Same thing with this thought now. Looking back X amount of years, it's like, what the fuck would ever make me think that's a sensible decision? Same thing.
And there was when Bam came out with his book.
This caller's like, dude, this is the best conversation ever. He's been over like 20 minutes. We've just took it into a whole other level.
And so when Bam came out, what was Bam's book's name? Sirius is Dog
Sirius
Shit?
is Shitwater.
Sirius is Dog Dirt or whatever it is.
Yeah.
So when Bam came out with his book, you said, Frantz, see, anyone can put out a book. If Bam can put one out, I can put one out. I'm going to put together a whole scrapbook. I didn't even need you. And
Again, I don't remember this.
And you went over, you were bragging to Don Vito and Phil. You're like,
Don
I'm doing
Vito.
this. So I went over there right after you. He was like, yeah. And so Don Vito goes, yeah, Novak was just here. He says he doesn't need you no more. And he's gonna write his own book. And then he goes, you think Novak is actually willing to do all that work by himself? I was like, no!
Absolutely not.
Page one.
No, there was a scrapbook for a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, don't
was
ever
around-
underestimate.
It was around the same time as extreme couponing.
I was into that too.
What was it? Wait, hold on. Caller, what are you doing with the phone? Are you jacking off?
We get lost
What
in
is
our
that
own world
noise?
sometime.
Wait, what was the coupon craze, CJ?
So Phil does all the coupons and everything, and Novak was watching a show one day on extreme couponing, and he goes, "Look, this chick just got $200 worth of groceries, and they gave her money back."
Yeah, she got like $200 worth of groceries, all a stack full of coupons. Gets through the line, gives her all the coupons. Not only did she get all $200 worth of coupons, of groceries free, they actually owed her money.
And so you got swept up on
I
this.
was fucking hook, line, and sinker sold.
He was stealing coupons from the neighbors.
I was stealing pamphlets from they throw them
The
on
junk
the
mail
porch.
coupons that the neighbors are going to throw away anyway. He would beat them to the mail.
I think I had CJ on it with me. I'd get all high and clip.
So
And then he was going to get one of those accordion organizers.
Yeah,
He was ready.
I remember that now.
Well, hey, Joe, one last question for you.
Okay, buddy, go ahead.
Hey, where are y'all live at right now? What are you live on?
Oh, we're in my mom's basement.
Hence the
Well, I
cellar
meant, like,
dweller.
social media or something. You said you're live, right? Are you like streaming? or what?
Oh no. We used to do a live show, but it kind of didn't work out. So we just do a pre-record.
You can check it out on the Might Be News Network.
Yeah, on the Might Be News Network. You can,
News.
But yeah,
Hey, man,
so
well,
we.
it's been good. Y'all have a good one, man.
Hey,
Okay,
thanks for calling in,
thank
brother.
you.
Good talking to y'all.
Late.
Take it easy.
Isn't it funny remembering all the? Oh, another call. Oh wow, look at this. Hello, caller. You're live.
That was annoying.
Yeah, that sucked. What am I, John DeBella from the Morning Zoo? We lost
Hey,
him.
CJ drops another one.
Okay. It is funny though to remember all those old
It is.
Viva La Bam stories.
We could do like 30 podcasts of memories.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Literally.
We got another one.
Oh, we have another caller
You gonna
here.
fuck this one up
yeah,
too,
let's see if
Siege?
CJ fucks it up. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey, caller, what's on your mind?
What's up, man? I just had a question. I was kind of directing it toward Novak.
What do you got?
I was going to see if what he thinks about the 12 steps.
I think it's life-changing, life-saving. I think it's imperative, instrumental, and an absolute must for an alcoholic such as myself. It was the only thing that ever worked for me. And I recommend it for any and everybody that's willing to give it a chance, sober or not, in the 12-step program or not. Anyone and everyone can benefit from it. Can't speak enough
Awesome.
about it. If you don't do it, do it.
So in saying that, I'm guessing you've worked them. Now I got another
Absolutely.
question.
Yep.
I'm on step 7. Do you have anything on that? Maybe I could gain from any suggestions or anything?
How long are you sober?
15 months.
Okay.
As August 22nd.
I mean, it's there's not really much I can suggest about it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's a specific problem that you'd like to address, caller,
Yeah.
because he could take this on a lot of different directions. But and you're anonymous. No one knows your name. You haven't said your
Right.
name yet, so you can feel free to talk about whatever you'd like.
Okay. Well, it's like, on the character defects part,
Mhm.
I'm just trying to, I don't know. I've been told different things. My sponsor tells me one thing, but I don't know how to really just like.
So here's
work on
my
'em or give 'em
deal
over.
with my character defects, right?
Right.
My character defects were kind of the way that I conducted business for a lot of years, and I enjoyed them. I did not want to give them up. I don't want to give up being promiscuous with women. I don't want to give up lying. I don't want to give up cheating, stealing, because that all benefits me in some kind of way, right? So what I do is I ask God to remove my defects of character, right? Not when he sees fit, not when I see fit, because when I see fit will be fucking never, right? Because I always want to fuck women.
Right.
I always want to steal. I always want to lie because it all benefits me. So I ask God to remove those defects when he sees fit. And usually how and when he sees fit is, right, promiscuity is a big thing with me, as I'll get caught sleeping with multiple women, and then that woman will tell that woman, which will tell that woman. They all tell all the women, and now I have no women to sleep with. So God removes them when he sees fit. And the only motivating factor behind change in my life comes through the form of of pain. So when the pain gets great enough, I'm willing to do what it takes to change, which is now not sleep with a whole bunch of women and lie to each one and say I'm not sleeping with the other one. Why? Because I've just been exposed by all of them, and now none of them want to fuck me. So God removes my defects of character. I don't have the privilege of doing that because left to my own devices, I won't do that. So I continuously give it over to God and let God remove them for me when he sees fit. So, you know, I if I told you I'm working on my character defect, that's a fucking lie. I don't do that. God has to remove my defects of character. But then what happens once I allow God to remove them and is now my defects have become my biggest assets, because now like one defect was drinking and drugging, right? Now I don't drink or drug, but now I get phone calls from tons of people that do drink and drug, and they say, if you can get clean, there's no reason why I can't. Can you help me? So the very same thing that was killing me now provides me life, but not only me, but a mass of people, because they said, if you can do it, I can do it. Can you help me? So I simply pay it forward, if that makes any sense to you.
Right.
And if it doesn't, that's cool too. It's not supposed to.
Right. One thing you said stuck out to me really, pain. When the pain is great enough, my sponsor tells me that all the time. Yeah. Pain is a great motivator.
That's true, man. That's the only motivating factor behind anything that I do in my life regarding change. I don't change when things are unmanageable. I change when things are unbearable. And that moment, that window of opportunity is very small. So it's like, that's how it goes for me. So
awesome, man. Thank y'all very much.
Hey, God bless.
Is this live right now?
It's no, we record, then we air later.
Okay, so where can I find it whenever it's on?
It's the mbnnetwork.com, or look for MBN Network on SoundCloud or iTunes podcast.
MBN
Might Be News Network.
So, yeah.
It'll be out tomorrow.
Might Be News Network, MBN.
This episode will be out tomorrow, so you can check it out, man.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for
God
calling.
bless, man.
Yes, sir. God bless.
Yeah, man. So it's crazy, Frantz. Today's day 32 with no cigarettes.
Yeah.
I've become, not to toot my own horn, but beep fucking beep. I'm like a professional at quitting things. I literally, I prayed for the obsession to be lifted, the desire to be removed. You could put me in a room full of people, not yet, chain smoking. And like, I have no desire to smoke. Like the obsession is gone, man. Like, and it wasn't a hard thing. I just accepted the fact that, like, if I couldn't quit today, I was never going to quit, and I was going to smoke till I died, and that'd probably be why I died.
Wow. But you were looking pretty well. Those first 2 weeks, man, you were so scatterbrained. I remember we did one of these podcasts, and you kept fucking around with your phone, kept texting and texting. You're just fiddling around. You weren't even doing anything. You were just, I was like, dude.
I couldn't sit still.
Yeah, I was like,
it was like detox. I was a stranger in my own skin trying to figure out who the fuck let me in, And I knew with time it would get better.
What about the timing of your day? Has that changed at all? So it's like when you're a compulsive smoker, everything you do is tied to a cigarette.
Yes.
Okay, I'm done cooking my meal. Time for a smoke.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's after the meal. Time for a smoke. Okay, I'm going to watch TV for an hour. Time for a smoke. I have to call someone. Time for, like, is that... What's changed about that?
That has not changed. It changed in the beginning, but it's getting on track. It's becoming a bit more bearable or doable or tolerable, if you will. What I am battling with still is some depression, And I think anything that you've done in an excessive way for a long period of time and you give it up, you're going to go through bouts of.
But didn't you experience any depression while you were smoking?
No,
you didn't.
None at all. But now I can tell you, like, some days it's hard for me to like get going. It's hard for me to wake up and jump out of bed with the same enthusiasm that I had when I smoked. I mean, I smoked at least a pack a day for 24 years straight. And then to give that up, you're gonna go through a range of emotions and feelings. And
did you smoke more when you were drinking, doing cocaine, or doing heroin?
Drinking and cocaine, absolutely.
A lot more.
Yeah, because I never slept. Heroin, I was basically in or out of a sleep or consciousness, if you will.
I see.
There wasn't enough time to smoke like I chain smoked then. But it's weird. But what I know is that if I just continue to go through the motions, like it will get better. You know, my whole perspective of going about things has just really changed, and it's like so doable. If I don't pick it up, it can't get in me. Feelings aren't facts. Feelings will pass. You know, and it's.
That sounds like some good advice for the listeners, man. You know, I mean,
It's totally doable.
smoking is an inevitable death sentence, and it's weird. It's something where, I mean, I never smoked, but you know, we've all had bad habits, and habits are crazy because you tell yourself every time you do something, it will be your last time.
Yeah. Tomorrow I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's it. And then I wake up tomorrow to repeat yesterday's actions, and I'm stuck in Groundhog's Day for the next amount of years. You know, because I really believe it. I mean it. Tomorrow's going to be different. But nothing has changed in my actions. It's just simply intentions that I'm setting. And intentions without actions are like a brand new car without gas. Looks beautiful, but completely fucking pointless. Who cares?
Wow, what an analogy. Do we have time for one more call?
I got this in front of me. I don't know why. It's 6:30.
You said you had to be here.
Oh, yeah, I know.
leave.
I'm cool. I mean, we got...
Yeah, there's.
Thanks,
Okay.
bud.
So we'll go for a minute.
But
So-
yeah, so
I haven't got the text.
yeah, I thought for some reason I thought you had to go at 6.
Well, I do. I'm just waiting for the text of my ride to be here.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, let's wrap it up then.
So the
Oh,
one caller.
okay, one more caller. Okay, we're a little confused here. This is a very lax show here tonight.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
Go for it.
Okay, hello caller. How you doing? Uh-oh.
Hey, pretty good. How are you guys doing?
What's
Good.
happening?
Hey, is Novak there?
I'm here.
Hey, Novak, I have a question for you, man.
Hopefully, I have an answer for you. Shoot.
All right, so you have an up and coming rehab thing scheduled for Southern California, yeah?
Yeah.
What? Do you know what date that is? I tried calling them; they didn't answer.
The date is, CJ, do we have the date?
I never got the date on that. It's in your calendar.
Hold on a second.
Some president of operations you are, Craig.
I know. Fuck. You drop calls. You don't add dates to
Supposed to
events.
know all this shit.
You think
dude.
they just fucking psychics
You
that
know-
learn through osmosis?
When Novak books stuff on his own, I kind of get left out.
Oh, he's always justifying
I
or
know.
deflecting.
Yeah, dude, we want results, not excuses, CJ.
Thank you.
My
You know,
God.
you're about to be fired, CJ. Hey, caller. Are you looking for a
Yeah.
gig? You looking for a job?
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No, you might regret that.
yeah.
The biggest regret you ever made.
So it's on Coastline Recovery, right? There's a phone
yeah,
number.
you posted that. You posted that picture. I tried calling that number on that picture, and it went straight to like a voicemail. Didn't even let me enter an extension or anything.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll just give you the fucking the number of the guy who sent that to me, and if you text him, he can give you the date.
All right. That'd be awesome if you could do that.
The phone number is 949
Okay.
701 0381.
8-1.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Oh, you
Everybody's gonna be
11
calling this
yeah, 1128. I think 1128 is the date. I have.
Okay. So
I'm
wait.
looking.
Okay. A couple weeks.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well,
yeah,
thank- yeah.
1128 is the event. Absolutely. But call that
Okay.
number and they'll give you the exact details.
I think there's tickets for it too, or something.
CJ, you're on top of shit.
I get bits and pieces here.
Hey, brother. Hopefully, I see you there, man. It'll be a pleasure.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. I'd like to meet you. So definitely show up. It'll be rad. It'll be a good event.
All right. Thanks, guys.
God bless.
All
man.
right, thank you. Well, I guess that's seems to be all the time we have, unless we have time for one more call. No. Okay, so that's about it. Novak has a big input. What's this big fucking important business meeting you've been talking about all night?
It's actually a work-related issue.
What is it?
I'm not getting into that.
It's
one
a
bit.
girl.
No, it's not.
It's not a girl.
It's really not.
You have something to do.
Absolutely. I have a dinner at Barclay Prime with 3 other people. 4 in total.
Is one of them a girl?
2 of them are women.
So you lied.
Shut up. See, now you know why I would not want to take a lie detector test on Franz. There's no right answer.
Okay. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. For an personally hand-signed autographed copy of Dream Seller or our graphic novel, The Brandon Novak Chronicles, go to Amazon or BrandonNovak.com. We ship internationally. And definitely tune in to the MightBeNewsNetwork.com, MBN.com. Taylor, CJ, Novak, any last words?
I'm good. MBNNetwork.com. We got
What
all
stands
kinds of
for
shows.
Might Be News? Because it sounds like you're saying NBN.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I keep thinking that too. Might Be News Network. We got the Might Be News podcast, Relatable Radio, Might Be Sports, Novak Frantz, Might Be Brews. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff. So check us out. We got podcasts 3, 4, 5 days a week. So.
And then, as usual, if you have anybody, yourself, a relative, a friend that's suffering with the disease of addiction and is trying to find their way out and simply can't see past that bag, bottle, needle, pipe, feel free to pass my number along, 610-635-9092. Have them call me, you call me, either myself or one of my team members will do whatever it takes to help you find the appropriate level of care that you so deserve.
Yeah, he's 100% serious. Call him anytime. Yeah. I mean, he'll if he can't pick up personally, someone else will. But I've watched him all day, and he tries to take every single call that he gets at any time. He'll stop what he's doing to help you get the help you need.
Absolutely. So. Thanks for listening, man. Everyone out there. Yeah. I enjoyed tonight.
Yeah, it was good. Great episode. Great episode.
It was different. It wasn't Franz's normal topic with a lot of rules and guidelines, and we're going to do this here at this time. But Brandon, free for all.
This was my idea.
Well, this is why I don't like your ideas.
But this was my idea. You just liked it. You admitted it.
No. Look,
yes, you did.
I'm an alcoholic. What that looks like is I'm defiant by nature. I hate authority, and I will not conform unless it becomes my idea. So when I come in here and you have a whole fucking guideline, treatment plan, if you will, of how the show is going to go, it pisses me off.
But I'm the one who wanted a free flow change of pace.
I think we all did. Good job.
Oh my God. All right. All right.
CJ Taylor, great job as usual. Franz,
thank you.
Fucking annoy everyone.
I got to go.
Thank you guys.